Everybody's JDog713 coming at you again with an updated video on my oil catch cans. I bought some universal oil catch cans off eBay for like 30 bucks a pop. As I mentioned in my last video, one of the oil catch cans has Mishimoto on it, and I don't know why it's branded like that. I don't know if it's really a Mishimoto oil catch can, but it looks just like the other one. Here's the first one, and here's the second one. So, but I could tell you, I bought it from the same seller on eBay, and I bought them like 1 week apart from each other. I wanted to test out, a cheap oil catch can. So it has a baffle inside of it. I taken it apart. It looks just like a Mishimoto oil catch can. So, one difference is this one has 15-30 seconds hose, and this one is, I believe, 11-30 seconds. It's 11-30 seconds, and I don't know why they're both different. It's the same oil catch can, same part number or whatever I bought it from. However, it did work out in my favor though, because the line on this side, this is the OEM line, the OEM hose. I pulled it off. It's connected. It's connected right there, and it runs through here and up to the intake. This one here on this side is to the valve cover, and this is to the intake, which is inside this thing. And so it sucks all that gas and shit from the valve cover, and it sucks it into the intake. So what I did was I pulled the line off, disconnected it from here, and I pulled it over and wormed it over to right here at this point. Now I got a hose connector here, but it was a T. I plugged it off. I capped it off, with the vacuum cap, and turns out it's the same hose size, 11-30 seconds, and just running the hose to this side, which is the outside. Yeah, this is sucking it, going this way. It's going in here, which is the inlet, and they're labeled in. This side's labeled out, coming out. That goes, which is going back in and getting sucked in to the manifold. Intake. So, and on this side, getting back to this one, I just mounted the 90-degree bracket. I cut a piece of silicone hose. I put it over the bracket, and I just set the oil catch can here. It's nice and secure. It won't move. I can drill a hole in there and screw it in and have a bolt on there also, but I just didn't bother doing that. And I'm just testing them out, so I'm see how they go. See if I truly need one on this side. But when I took off the blow-off valves and I looked inside, it had dried up oil resin and all kind of shit in there. That's because this hose, the hose on this side, goes to the intake tube, and it's connected down there somewhere. You can't see it, but it's connected down there. And when the turbo spools up, it sucks in. It creates a vacuum sucking out from there, and it's hooked up to the valve cover, which is right down there. You see it? It's not focusing in. It's down there. There it goes. So it runs from there and runs up this hose, and it goes inside. It comes out. Let's zoom out real quick. It comes out to here and it goes into the intake. So that way, sucking dirty air out, and then the clean air is coming out into the intake. That's how that works. So if you need further explanation of how an oil catch can works, you can Google it, and they may be able to explain it a little better. But that's how I got that hooked up. It was pretty simple. Each side took like 30 minutes. I would recommend anybody else to do that. You know, if you could do it, if you're a DIY guy and you don't want to take your car to like a shop, and they pay you they charge you let's say about some shops charge you like $80 to $100 an hour, and depending on how long it takes them to do it, could cost you an arm and a leg when you can do something yourself. So almost everything on this car I've installed myself. I installed the intakes, blow-off valves, oil catch cans, the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger is down here. Every time I make a video about the engine bay, I have to show you my heat exchanger, because I think it took the most time to put on, but then again, the exhaust took a hell of a time to put on. So here are the wires for the gauges. I didn't cover these wires up, I just left them bare. I may come back and put some of this black wire insulator, whatever you call it. I did run the wire insulation in the engine bay, and the wire, that is the wire for the temperature sensor, for the temperature gauge, and it runs through here. It runs along the boost vacuum line, and it comes around this side, and I got it strapped here, and here is the Z1 coolant adapter fitting. I put the temperature sensor in here. Make sure whenever you're doing something like that, use the Teflon tape. So, and this is the line feeding the coolant up to the stock heat exchangers. So all that coolant is coming from the burger tuning heat exchanger. Is pumping, is going up from the water pump, and it's coming up through here, and I am able to get the temperature reading of the coolant prior to it entering the main OEM heat exchangers. So usually the temperature, like I said before, it was 92 degrees outside, and what was it? It's either when I'm driving on the highway, the coolant temperature in the heat exchanger is usually 5 or 6 degrees higher than the outside air temperature. And sometimes on the highway when I'm cruising, they'll be almost even on the coolant temperature. So